What up, metas? Coming to you once again with a little Way of Winter tutorial guide for Once Human. This one we're going to be talking about a resource that you pretty much constantly need for keeping your tower up and running, which if you'll look here at our tower, it's actually shut down right now because nobody's been on farming CHAOSIUM for us. And that's what we're going to be talking about, is a quick, easy way to farm that CHAOSIUM that you're going to need to keep your tower up and running. There's also a variety of seasonal goals and stuff like that related to CHAOSIUM, which this will help you accomplish all those as well, in case you're in case you haven't really gotten those yet. You know, and if you're not a part of a larger group, you know, with a hive and everything, and you're not running your own tower and all that, you might consider, you know, finding somebody that will let you donate to their tower and maybe kind of, you know, huddle in, or you can even, you know, join us here on server Winter 10 if you happen to be over here, World 2, right over here by the Fire God Research Center. So you'd be happy to huddle on in our little space if you'd like to join us and you happen to be on the same server. But all that being said, the best and easiest place to do this is right up here in what they call Fire Throat. There's a nice little convenient teleportation tower right there. So we're gonna go ahead and teleport over to there, and we'll show you the whole run, which is relatively straightforward. And there's an element to this that I feel like some people are missing out on as well, which is the fact that because the teleportation tower is so close, you can swap between worlds as well to do more farming. So basically what you're going to do when you get here, and this is what I generally try to do, is, you know, you're going to end up right up here by the gate, and typically speaking, there is a lot of enemies in here, way more than you're going to want to deal with. Now, you could kill them if you want to farm them for more CHAOSIUM. It's not the worst idea in the world, but if you just want to do a quick run, you don't really want to spend a bunch of time fighting a bunch of stuff, you can just run past them. And depending on, you know, whether or not this elevator is here or not, you'll take this elevator. Now you can just go ahead and jump down this shaft and, you know, glide down with your bird if the elevator happens to be down, which usually in my experience the elevator is down. But if it is here, go ahead and write it down, which takes a little bit longer, to be fair. It does add a little bit of time on the run, but, you know, it's not that big of a deal. And it prevents you from, you know, accidentally messing up and falling and breaking your ankles. You can go ahead and jump off the rail there. And as soon as you come in here, you're going to find a bunch of CHAOSIUM barrels, and they're just going to be all around the room. You just kind of run around and grab it, keep scanning, you know, that way you don't miss them. And you just suck them up, and you'll get a whole bunch of CHAOSIUM very, very quickly. Now, what's good about this farming run, if you want to do additional farming besides just CHAOSIUM, like you can hit this room, grab all that CHAOSIUM and call it good there. Or if you want to do a little more farming for like some platinum crystals, or you just want to kill some more guys and get some more CHAOSIUM, you can run down here into this room and take out these couple of enemies. And there's some, you know, more elites and stuff like that in here that you can farm. You get some more loot off of them. Most of these guys are pretty weak, so you can just kind of come in and knock them down real quick. A lot of them you can kill before they even have a chance to aggro. You know, so again, you can farm all these guys for CHAOSIUM. And then there's some, really the main reason we're going to come in here is to get these barrels here. And then once you get him down, you can come over here, quickly loot these couple of things, and you're going to have a couple of more barrels over here. So that ends up being the kind of the entirety of the CHAOSIUM run, if that's all you want to do is grab the CHAOSIUM. Now, if you want to go ahead and grab a little bit of extra, you can come up here, you know, take out a couple of more guys. Again, a little more CHAOSIUM to get off of them. There's some, you know, crates over here like this, storage crate. You can go ahead and grab. And then you can kind of come across here, bounce across the back side of this, and crouch down, come in here, and there's another crate you can grab here. So you can do a little bit of extra farming on this run and then head back out the way you came in. All right, now that we're out of that slow elevator, there's one other thing I did want to show you, just in case you want to know it for your records, to extend the farm just a little bit. Personally, I don't think it's that worth it, but if you're coming here from the teleporter, there is this sort of like little like village area, or whatever you want to call it, facility down here that you can glide down to. It's a fairly long gliding process to get down here. I will say that this area is also good for farming if you're wanting to not necessarily farm CHAOSIUM, though you will get some CHAOSIUM. If you're looking to farm like platinum crystals or other kind of like tier 4 materials like that, you can do that. I would recommend going through this area for things like that. For the CHAOSIUM part of it, though, which is what this video is focusing on, it's definitely a bit of a long glide to get down here for what ends up being just like a little bit of CHAOSIUM. So I don't think it's necessarily worth it. And you can kind of see the CHAOSIUM location starting to spawn up down there. What we're looking to go to is that spot right down there where that like nice little I don't know, a fountain or something of that nature is right down there. So you can kind of speed up the process just a little bit by letting yourself fall. But of course, you got to be careful. And then once you come down here, there's going to be a bunch of little barrels right down here at this location as well. So if you want to extend the CHAOSIUM farm a bit and grab those barrels, you can. It takes, another 30 seconds to a minute to glide down there. But there's a decent amount of barrels there. And like I say, you can come through this area as well if you want to do more of a general farming run. There's a lot of buildings and a lot of stuff that can be farmed all throughout this kind of facility area here. And there's a decent amount of enemies and stuff inside the church or the temple thingy here, where you can farm some more CHAOSIUM off the actual enemies as well if you'd like. So another method that I do want to discuss and cover in this as well is that is a really good quick little run through Fire Throat that can get you those barrels and stuff like that. And you can do that to get yourself a quick like 2.5k right there. And if you want to farm all the mobs and stuff there is a lot of them. It is a good farm spot for just general killing as well, to get loot off of the mobs and get their CHAOSIUM. And then you can like switch channels at the teleportation tower and kind of farm through this area over and over and over again if you'd like, and then come down to like a fortress and stuff like that and farm for crystals if you want. But there is another really good farming spot that I've seen people talking about, and I kind of agree is a good one, is actually going to Securement Silo Delta. So you can come over here. Why it's telling me I can't teleport in the current state. I didn't do anything. So you can come over here to Securement Silo Delta, and there's a lot of enemies in there that are very easy to farm as well. It's a very short silo. And there's also a good chance of getting deviations. So it has a sort of a bonus that you're not just getting CHAOSIUM, you're also farming deviations, which it seems like with the Way of Winter scenario, there's less sort of static places to farm deviants at, whereas in previous seasons it was like, go here, do this, and you'll get this deviant, or go here and has a high chance of spawning or something like that. A lot of the deviants in this season seem to be inside the silos, and you're really going to have to farm the silos more in order to get the deviants that you possibly want. I see this as both a good and a bad thing, because it does give you more reasons and more benefits to do the silos, which you need to do anyway. But it also means that, it's a little more RNG if you get the deviant that you want. And on top of that, can maybe manage to get the deviant that you want and also get an upgrade. But if you're high enough level at this point, which you should be, you can jump in here on pro mode, and you can jump into this silo, which is pretty easy silo to do even solo if your gear is decent. If you can't quite do pro mode, that's okay. You can still get pretty good CHAOSIUM by coming in here on a lower difficulty. But you'll get, a chance at better deviants by coming in here on pro mode difficulty. you know, and we'll speed up this run and not show the whole thing because, you know, we have footage on the channel of the full run of this silo and raw footage if you want to watch the whole run for whatever reason. And I'll cut to the more relevant part where we'll show where the deviant can usually show up and talk more about the specifics of like the farm itself. So this guy here is usually where your decent chance of getting a early deviation come in. This shielded kind of guard guy here. A little bit of a pain in the butt to deal with. You just kind of deal with him. And there you see the deviation just popped up behind me. So I have noticed when you come through here to do a farming run, generally this is where you're going to get that chance at a deviation drop. And I've seen a variety of different deviations drop off of that boss. This time it was the Fetch a Lot Bunny. I've seen it be a door. I've seen it be the frog, the smelting frog. I've seen it be several different deviations that can drop there. And at this point, like, you could stop the run and go back if you just wanted to focus on getting deviations a little bit more, or if you want to keep going with like the farming part of the run and you know, fight through these guys, you know, to continue to get Chaosium or maybe even go to the boss to get loot. You can do that. Kind of up to you at this point. Farming those guys at the very least is usually pretty worth it because you can see they come in very dense, so there's a lot of Chaosium just to be gained in that one little doorway farm. So yeah, if you're looking to do a bit of a combination farm with some Chaosium thrown into the mix as well, you could run through that delta. Again, if you can't handle the pro difficulty, you know, drop it down a difficulty, you'll still get a lot of Chaosium. You'll still be able to get some deviants, and you know, it's still totally worthwhile. But if you can get yourself upgraded and get to the point where your build can handle doing the pro mode solo, it's a pretty short run and it's not too difficult, and you'll be able to get some Chaosium deviants and other stuff along with it. You can get yourself some mods, different stuff like that. A lot of things to do in one run. That's a pretty short silo to run. So those are my current recommendations for farming Chaosium. Hopefully this helps you guys out. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the Way of Winter scenario as much as I am. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next one, and happy hunting out there.